With so many proud, freedom-loving patriots, we're here to proclaim a new day is coming in Latin America. It's coming. In Venezuela and across the Western Hemisphere, socialism is dying, and liberty, prosperity, and democracy are being reborn. The people of Venezuela are standing for freedom and democracy, and the United States of America is standing right by their side. Let me begin by thanking the great leaders here today who have been such incredible champions for the cause of liberty. And these people love you, and they love Venezuela, and they love Cuba, and they love all of the places that we're fighting. We are profoundly grateful to every dissident, every exile, every political prisoner, and everyone who bears witness to the horrors of socialism and communism, and who has bravely spoken out against them. Thank you very much. The fact is, you've seen the crimes, and you've seen the corruption. You have seen the hunger and the suffering. You have heard the anguished pleas for help. You have protested and protested with respect, but loudly. And you have prayed for the day we can now see, which is just ahead, the day when all of the people of this region will at last be free. As we meet today, the people of Venezuela stand at the threshold of history, ready to reclaim their country and to reclaim their future. Not long ago, Venezuela was the wealthiest nation by far in South America. But years of socialist rule have brought this once thriving nation to the brink of ruin. That's where it is today. The tyrannical socialist government nationalized private industries and took over private businesses. They engaged in massive wealth confiscation, shut down free markets, suppressed free speech, and set up a relentless propaganda machine, rigged elections, used the government to persecute their political opponents, and destroyed the impartial rule of law. In other words, the socialists have done in Venezuela all of the same things that socialists, communists, totalitarians have done everywhere that they've had a chance to rule. The results have been catastrophic. Almost 90% of Venezuelans now live in poverty. In 2018, hyperinflation in Venezuela exceeded 1,000,000%. Crippling shortages of food and medicine plague the country. Socialism has so completely ravaged this great country that even the world's largest reserves of oil are no longer enough to keep the lights on. This will never happen to us. Already, more than 3 million Venezuelans have fled Maduro's brutal opposition, and brutal it is. Today, we are honored to be joined by Amita Perez, the mother of Oscar Perez, a courageous Venezuelan police officer. You know the story. In June of 2017, Oscar piloted a helicopter over the city of Baruta with the banner 350 Liberty, a reference to Article 350 of the Venezuelan Constitution, which states, "The people of Venezuela shall disown any regime, legislation, or authority that violates democratic values or encroaches upon human rights." Oscar said he wanted to give the people hope. He loved the people. He fought for the people, and they loved Oscar. But Oscar was gunned down and killed by Venezuelans, so you know this very well. You all know the story. By the Venezuelan security forces, viciously. Aminta, our hearts break for your loss. Oscar gave his life for the freedom of his people. We all have hope today because of great, great people and patriots like Oscar. Please. I said, how about saying something in Spanish? She likes Spanish. She's a little bit better in Spanish. Please. Please.
Gracias, señor presidente. Me disculpan si se me salen las lágrimas. Lo que pasa es que hoy uno de mis hijos, otro de mis hijos, que también fue asesinado, está de cumpleaños hoy. Y entonces, bueno, pero estoy acá más que todo estoy con el presidente solicitando ayuda humanitaria. Estoy solicitando también justicia por mi hijo y por su grupo que fueron asesinados vilmente, por los hijos. Y también para continuar con el legado de Oscar, que parte de eso somos todos nosotros. Y vamos a continuar con la lucha hasta ver nuestra Venezuela libre y poder regresar a nuestra madre patria. Gracias.
I don't know what she said, but I think I know what she said. And she is an incredible woman, and Oscar was an incredible man who will not have died in vain. The twilight hour of socialism has arrived in our hemisphere, and frankly, in many, many places around the world. The days of socialism and communism are numbered not only in Venezuela, but in Nicaragua and in Cuba as well. Do we love Cuba? Do we love Nicaragua? Great countries. Such great potential. Remember that word, such unbelievable potential. In the meantime, we must all work together to end a humanitarian disaster. As we speak, there are truckloads filled with hundreds of tons of desperately needed humanitarian supplies, stopped at the borders of Venezuela and waiting to help the millions and millions in need. 2 days ago, the first U.S. Air Force C-17, that's a big, beautiful plane, landed in Colombia, loaded with crucial assistance, including thousands of nutrition kits for little Venezuelan children. Unfortunately, dictator Maduro has blocked this life-saving aid from entering the country. He would rather see his people starve than give them aid, than help them. Millions of Venezuelans are starving and suffering while a small handful at the top of the Maduro regime plunder the nation into poverty and into death. We know who they are, and we know where they keep the billions of dollars that they have stolen. For decades, the socialist dictatorships of Cuba and Venezuela have propped each other up in a very corrupt bargain. Venezuela gave Cuba oil. In return, Cuba gave Venezuela a police state run directly from Havana. But this is a much different day, and those days are over. The ugly alliance between the two dictatorships is coming to a rapid end. A new future is beginning. All of us in this arena, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people outside, you have to see it, are united because we know the truth about socialism in Venezuela, in Cuba, in Nicaragua, and all around the world. Socialism promises prosperity, but it delivers poverty. Socialism promises unity, but it delivers hatred and it delivers division. Socialism promises a better future, but it always returns to the darkest chapters of the past. That never fails. It always happens. Socialism is a sad and discredited ideology rooted in the total ignorance of history and human nature, which is why socialism eventually must always give rise to tyranny, which it does. Socialists profess a love of diversity, but they always insist on absolute conformity. We know that socialism is not about justice. It's not about equality. It's not about lifting up the poor. Socialism is about one thing only: power for the ruling class. And the more power they get, the more they crave. They want to run healthcare, run transportation and finance, run energy, education, run everything. They want the power to decide who wins and who loses, who's up and who's down, what's true and what's false, and even who lives and who dies. In short, all of us here today know that there is nothing less democratic than socialism. Everywhere and anywhere it appears, socialism advances under the banner of progress, but in the end it delivers only corruption, exploitation, and decay. And so as the United States stands up for democracy in Venezuela, we reaffirm the solidarity with the long-suffering people of Cuba and Nicaragua and people everywhere living under socialist and communist regimes. And to those who would try to impose socialism on the United States, we again deliver a very simple message. America will never be a socialist country. We are born free, and we will stay free now and forever. We know what freedom can do in Venezuela because we have seen that future right here in Doral. We know what freedom can do in Cuba because we have seen that future right here in Miami. We know what freedom can do in Nicaragua because we have seen that future in Sweetwater. And one day soon, with God's help, we are going to see what the people will do in Caracas and Managua and Havana. And when Venezuela is free, and Cuba is free, and Nicaragua is free, this will become the first free hemisphere in all of human history. It was my great honor to be with you today, and the First Lady's great honor to be with you today. We are winning. We are winning on every front. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the people of Venezuela. God bless the people of Cuba. God bless the people of Nicaragua. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.